What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And this I want to break down what's going on with the overall market and answer the question: is the stock market about to crash? What is my opinion on this matter? What you should be watching for as time progresses. But before I begin the devil's information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100 into the account, you are guaranteed 5 free stocks. Deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed up to 15 free stocks, and the offer ends very soon. Anyways, when it comes to the way the market is moving, as you guys can see, SPY has been in an uptrend. This is assuming that it's continuing to go higher, and it's been respecting this channel pretty closely, continuing to just go back and forth and back and forth. Now, the thing about SPY is it's dropped pretty hard very fast. We're going to be looking to see a little rebound at first. But the question is, once it gets this little rebound, will it continue to break its high? I want to note that we do have some very tight resistance at this 518 area. And once we hit this, SPY got this big rejection. The daily candlestick is looking weaker as we're getting high volume selling, and we're starting to get more signals that suggest the market could drop lower. So, is the market about to crash? Well, honestly, guys, there's no confirmation that this is going to be a massive stock market crash. And you may see a lot of YouTube videos come out about how the market's going to crash. And, these same videos have been coming out for months and months and months as the market has been continuing to push. So it doesn't necessarily mean that every single thing that you're hearing is accurately depicting what's going on. But I can change my view if we start losing critical levels. And that's kind of like the way I trade. So, from the way I see this, okay, if you want to remain bullish, we need to see SPY get a big bounce, try to break above 518 and continue to pump. But there's no guarantee that that's going to happen after how much the market is pumped. And also because of how the daily is looking as we're finally starting to get a rejection off this bearish divergence. But on top of that, I do want to call out that we had a very aggressive sell off and a big rejection off this 518 area. And especially considering that we have this gap down here and the fact that it's been a while since we last touched our 20 EMA, I think the most likely possibility is this: SPY could rebound a little bit even on Monday and then continue to sell. And if we get a confirmation move to the downside, if we continue to break these lows, I think there's a very good chance we're going to come down to at least 505. That's another pretty big drop on SPY. And then if we lose 505, this is going to be our key sign. There's a very good chance we're going to fill this gap below. I personally do predict we're going to start a downtrend just temporarily since it's long overdue. And I think that this big rejection is a big signal because we haven't had a red Friday in a very, very long time and gotten some kind of rejection like this. That's the first signal. Another thing that's going to be very important is watching the VIX. Does the VIX end up getting a big breakout above our 20 EMA, above 15.38? On the 4-hour time frame, the VIX is actually looking bullish, looking slowly uptrending, and it's already above its key EMAs. We also have this gap to fill up here. So I do see more upside for the VIX, and I think that this could be a little negative for the markets. May come down a bit as the market tries to rebound temporarily. Then the VIX may pop up even higher as the market is long due for this. So I personally think that the market is going to see a temporary top at 518 or so. That's what I predict is going to happen. And I think we're going to see a very, very healthy sell off. Now, I'm not saying it's a crash, though. I'm not saying SPY is going to go all the way down to 504 or even all the way down to like, I'm sorry, not 504, all the way down to like 495, all the way down to like 490, 480, all the way down there. I'm not saying that right now. Could that end up happening? It sure could, but I'm not saying it quite yet. Okay. I think we're going to be testing, excuse me, 497 in the future. But to get there, we need to watch for confirmation first and see if we lose 505 first. I think we are going to test that at the very least. And I think that we are showing some signs of declining. The weekly finally has a doji that's forming. This oftentimes suggests that we could see a negative week next week. We just need a follow through move. And there's a very good chance that that could be signaling a big change in the trend. If we go back on the SPY chart, it's been a very long time since we formed a doji or some kind of like topping candlestick. So this could be a big significant sign. We've been very bullish for a very long time with no pullback. So I think that we are due for one. I do think the odds are starting to greatly favor that. So considering how overbought we are, where the RSI is and all these other factors, I do favor that in my opinion. I also want to note that I think that the way the market's moving is going to have a big effect on different sectors. So, for instance, if you look at like Amazon right now has a nice head and shoulders like structure. So, if you are some kind of day trader, just look for a very, very nice setup. So we have a nice head and shoulders like setup on Amazon, which suggests that this could be coming down. This is just adding to the confirmation I have on SPY and the other tickers, because what are the odds that SPY is giving us signals that it may pop and then drop more? Amazon has a head and shoulders. Tesla's downtrending. We have all these other stocks doing similar things. It's very unlikely that this all is just a coincidence. And it's more likely that the market is setting up for some much bigger pieces of volatility. So if you look at the head and shoulders on Amazon, this is a very beautiful setup, but we need confirmation and we need to see this thing lose 172. If it loses this, a bigger drop could be coming towards 167, towards our 4-hour 200 EMA, if not 165. And we have other tickers that have very similar trends. Another thing that's worth noting is that QQQ is looking pretty weak right now. And I do believe that with this bearish divergence and simultaneously this rejection is getting, it's going to likely see a follow through move. Because when you look at the daily time frame on the QQQ, I think that it's due to test its 20 EMA. Okay. And this is how I'm going to go about this. It could pop a little bit, retest 440, 442, but then it's going to come down to 436. I do believe that's going to happen. That's our 20 EMA at 436. And watch if that holds. If we lose that, if we lose this EMA, a much bigger drop could be coming to fill this gap. I think it's going to try to fill this gap all the way down to 426. There must be some kind of news that could be coming or something that's going to happen. So this does suggest that's very probable. And I just want to be watching this green line first, see if we break this first for confirmation for the bigger break. But either way, it is another downside target, and this does imply the market has downside likely coming. We have stocks like Tesla already on these big downtrends. It was trying to rebound. It's kind of failing so far. So there's a risk of it retesting this low. So just be very careful. So with that being said, on SPY, okay, we have this upwards channel that's been established for quite some time. It's been making higher highs and higher lows. Why? Because SPY was bullish for many, many months and for quite a while. Look how far I'm zooming back. I'm going all the way back to the start of the year. Check this out, guys. I know it's kind of small, but look at the chart. Okay. It's been going up and up and up and up and up. And if you see someone who's been screaming, it's going to crash, it's going to crash, it's going to crash, they're eventually going to be right in a way, because this will eventually come back down. But is it really accurate? Is this high accuracy to just be screaming the same thing while the chart does the opposite until it finally happens? Or is it better to listen to someone that's been trying to just follow the trend? And I think that the trend is about to shift. So this is what you're going to be watching for. If you're bullish on SPY, just hypothetically, right? Even though I do find this to be less likely, it's very simple technical analysis. You want to see it just continue to uptrend and uptrend and uptrend, right? That's how you want to remain bullish like this, right? But I don't think it's going to continue to do that, considering how much we sold off today, and also because of our bearish divergences and other technicals. So what could be happening is we do something like this where we come down. Remember, I was saying we could rebound a little bit. And if we fail to break this high right here, we have to break this high to remain bullish. Just like how it made this high right here, came down and then it broke to a new high. It came down, but then it bounced and broke to a new high. We need to break this high to remain bullish. If we fail to do so, and we start coming back down here, if we end up losing this, right? If we end up losing this yellow trend line of support, this could be the sign that this thing is going to get a little pullback, and then we could start coming all the way back down to these levels, like 497, right? That's just one hypothetical example. I just want to make that as clear as possible. So this also kind of resembles another topping process. I'll talk more about that in a later video. This could even form like a diamond pattern reversal, but we'll see about that. Anyways, I'm not too worried about that. All I want to say is that watch for confirmation. I'm not saying the stock market is going to get a massive crash back down to 400, 420 a share for SPY. No, I am saying though that we're going to likely see a healthy pullback. I think it's long overdue based off these signals, based off the daily time frame, and based off our volume changes. And SPY could rebound a bit, but it's going to likely come all the way down to 505, retest our 20 EMA. And then if this breaks, a much bigger drop is likely going to come all the way down to fill this gap to 497, which is quite a drop. That's almost 20 points from where we currently are. That's almost that's quite a drop, if anything. So pretty crazy stuff, guys. Pretty insane stuff. And then we'll see how it goes from here. So with that being said, please be very careful with all those people on YouTube. So people are going to be saying it's going to crash. It's going to crash. If you are shorting, okay, and this is not financial advice, but let me just say this and make this clear. Be careful in a way where you don't want to be overly short. You don't want to just keep shorting endlessly like there's no tomorrow. Don't be afraid to take profits, and don't be afraid to be open-minded to the possibility that the market could base very soon as well. Meaning that SPY could drop to, like, let's just say it drops to like 505. You should continue to short this thing. It pushes a bit, then it starts sinking even lower and fills this gap. Are you just going to keep doubling down on your shorts over and over and over again? Because if you keep doing that, eventually this thing will rebound and you're going to mess up. So be careful with all those people screaming crash over and over again. Don't let that get the best of you, and just listen to what the chart is showing us and watch your support zones very carefully and see what the chart is suggesting. The chart is currently suggesting there's more downside coming, so please be very careful and do what you have to do, guys. This is not a massive crash, or at least I can't confirm that right now, but I can tell you that a very healthy pullback is likely coming, and we're going to be watching this one level at a time. That is the best way to day trade. That's the best way to go about these levels. That's the best way to chart and etc. I'm not going to tell you this thing is going to go down to like 485 exactly, then jump 12 points and whatever. I'm not really doing that. I don't want to do that. I just want to focus on the chart in front of us and be as unbiased as possible. That's how you increase the odds of being more accurate, and that's how you really improve your trades. All right. So taking it through some good trades, focus more on quality over quantity, and do what you have to do, guys. I'll see you guys very soon on the next one. So thank you for listening. I hope this video brought some value into your guys' lives. I'll see you guys very soon. Thanks again, and peace out.